My name is Yasmin Jusu Sharif and I am the Regional President of the Mana River Women's Peace Network, MAWOPNET. I think it's excellent that we are able to continue the work that women have been doing over the last several years in Sierra Leone and in the sub-region on elections. I think that over the last 15 years, the whole concept of how women interact with, participate in elections and use elections for peace building has been evolving and developing. And the Women's Situation Room is a very welcome development and initiative in this process.
I'm Josephine Odera, the Regional Director for UN Women West Africa. It draws from our priorities globally: increasing women's participation in political processes, empowering women politically. So the Women's Situation Room enables us to draw on that priority to see how we can support more women to be involved, if not as candidates, then as voters, and beyond that, to carry out activities such as observing. And we think that this is important for women to get more and more involved, to see that there are different angles to any political process, and involvement can be at different levels, and that involvement can be very crucial for the outcome of that process and also for the continued interest of women and of younger women in such processes. So it is really very, very important for UN Women.
I'm Yvette Chasenwura, the initiator and the international advisor for the Women's Situation Room. We did observation, which is really just observing, recording, and documenting. But we knew we needed more than that, because as we started moving towards elections, there were incidents that were reported of violent acts and things that could perpetuate violence. So we decided we'll do more than that. We'll expand this to include an intervention. And therefore we went ahead and started engaging stakeholders, the police, political parties, students, youth, people who are disengaged, disenfranchised, our traditional leaders, religious leaders, all of them became involved. And the Women's Situation Room was founded. And that's how we move forward towards elections.
As leader of the AU Observer Mission to the Sierra Leone elections, we wish the people of Sierra Leone peaceful elections that will contribute to the consolidation of democracy in this wonderful country, and that will spawn their development initiatives. We also want to congratulate the Women's Situation Room for the considerable work done with women in Sierra Leone and elsewhere in the cause of deepening democracy and spawning development.
This is a message from the First Lady of Sierra Leone in the Women's Situation Room at the Bintu Manning. We have to uphold the tenets of democracy. Let us be peaceful. Your president is peaceful. We want a peaceful elections. Please refrain from violence.
My name is Stella Bangora. I'm the current Miss West Africa International, second runner-up, 2011. If you destroy, sometimes you can't make it, and sometimes it would take you decades to actually rebuild it. So let's remember that what we have is priceless, and it shouldn't be traded for anything, for any political affiliation, for any individual, or for any selfish gain. Let's remember that Sierra Leone, we have only one Sierra Leone. This is the only country you have as a citizen. You have a right to walk around freely. You have a right as a citizen. If you go somewhere else, you would always be a stranger.
My name is Rupia Banda. I'm the former president of Zambia, and I'm here in Freetown to observe the elections, to lead the delegation of the Carter Center. Yes, I was very impressed with what we saw when we were invited to see the women's organization to observe the elections. It's a good thing that women should organize themselves, because their numbers in the elections are not as impressive as we would like.
I'm impressed with what these prominent women in Africa are trying to do in Sierra Leone. The fight for peaceful elections is critical if this country is to survive. I therefore feel very proud that they have spared time to come here from their countries to work so that Sierra Leone can remain a peaceful country after the elections.
My name is Olarao Tunu, and I'm heading the Commonwealth Observer Group to observe the elections. I'm very impressed and I'm very happy to have visited the Situation Room. As you know, sadly, women suffer disproportionately in situations of conflict, when there's a breakdown of peace, when there is war. Women also often are the only ones who are left standing and trying to hold the pieces together in the midst of massive trauma. I've seen this all over the world. And women have played a very active role, including here in Sierra Leone, in the restoration of peace. And so I'm very happy to see that women are playing an active role in seeking to consolidate the democratic process in this country, in seeking to ensure that these elections will be free and will be peaceful. And I'm also very happy to see the mobilization of women leaders from all over Africa to come and lend their support to the effort here in Sierra Leone.
My name is Mrs. Zainab Hawa Bangura. I'm the Special Representative of the Secretary General of the United Nations on Sexual Violence in Conflicts. I'm here in my private capacity to make sure I cast my vote, and I needed to give solidarity to the women and people of Sierra Leone. We're looking forward to the younger generation taking after us. I have faith in the women. I have faith in the ability of women, and I think I trust the women that if this country has to move forward, you have to have more women in government and in decision-making process, so that the issues that are of critical concern to women can be addressed in agriculture, in health, in education, in everything, in business.
Presidential nominee of the Sierra Leone People's Party. I have fought for peace in Sierra Leone and the sub-region. Peace is the basis. Peace provides a solid foundation for us to develop. So I'm appealing to all Sierra Leoneans, members of my party included, to conduct themselves in an orderly manner so that we can have a very peaceful election.
I see the face of West Africa changing. I actually see the face of the whole of Africa changing in the way we do business when it comes to elections. Because what has been happening in Africa, as we schedule elections, we are scheduling violence. We're taking our youth and we're making them susceptible to violence and perpetrators in violence, and turning up their entire environment, blowing it up into violence, while the politicians' children live abroad and are in safe conditions. So in the next 5 to 10 years, I hope with the initiation of the Women's Situation Room and with all the African countries now on board, that we will see the way we do business when it comes to elections will be different. Our youth will be purposefully engaged and engaged in a peaceful manner, that they will be heard as will women, and will all be done in a peaceful manner. That's what we see will happen.
It doesn't end just with the elections. And we're really looking to see immediately after the elections, how do the Sierra Leonean women engage even more consistently with the process, so that immediately after the elections we have a process that is starting to see how women are better trained, how women's interest can increase in political process, and how they can put themselves forward also, even for other posts. Appointive posts, for example, how do they lobby for that? In this country, for example, the 30% quota bill is still yet to be enacted into law. How do they move that forward as a result of their engagement in this process? So I think there are many issues that women can pick on from, but we will be looking to really facilitate the Sierra Leonean women themselves to see how we can best support them. We do not come to take lead of an agenda, we come to support and to facilitate.
The Women's Situation Room is another important mechanism that women in not only in Sierra Leone but across the Mana River sub-region and across the whole of West Africa and the whole of Africa, now that it's African Union best practice, it's going to be a mechanism that we're going to use to deepen and solidify our democracy and to further consolidate our peace.